Take control of your tax matters this filing season and ensure your compliance to help strengthen our country. Tax Matters, in association with the South African Revenue Service. Filing your tax returns is an important legal requirement in South Africa that all individuals and businesses must comply with. More importantly, South Africans have the moral obligations to do so. You see, tax returns are used to report your income, deductions, and other financial information to the South African Revenue Service, and they contribute to the country's fiscus. Doc, thank you very much for your time. Tell us about what tax return filing is and why it's so important.
If you listen to the Commissioner, most of the time he speaks about our tax obligation. He speaks about what SARS is all about. We're there to collect revenue, and we're there to make sure that people comply, and we also make sure that we protect our borders. We as citizens, we have obligations and we also have the rights. But with the obligation, we as SARS, we want to make sure that you pay the tax that is due and you always comply with the policy and acts that are there, but we also help you to make it easy for you and seamless.
So with that, what would an individual need in terms of the documents that they would need to gather to file a tax return?
To file a tax return, there are a few things we need to be aware of. With your employer, you have what we call the IRP5. It's actually a consolidation of your salaries for the whole year. Then most of us are actually contributing to a medical aid. Let's say you have insurance, right? You need to have, there's a document that helps you have that. If you are investing, there is a document that you need to have. So all that information is consolidated in one space. And then we're able to see whether you overpaid us or not. And if you overpaid, that's only you then that you get a refund.
Why is it important that consumers file their returns, and what are some of the benefits to consumers apart from the refund that they would get?
We have a higher purpose in SARS, and that higher purpose says we enable government to actually do work that provides social security, for example, that grow the economy, the education that we offered, and the defense that we have. All those services are actually funded by the community, everybody who contributes.
If the taxman does catch you and you are one of those who have been not following the law in terms of paying your tax returns, and so what are the penalties that consumers will experience if this is the case?
We have the Tax Administration Act, Section 2.210, and in that section, we are given an opportunity as SARS to have penalties. The penalties will range from 250 to 16,000, and for the period of 35 months. So it increases every month. So it becomes important to know that they are calibrated, and every month you gain another portion if you don't pay, and it's interest as well. And it becomes an interesting conversation when you talk to small business. With the employed people, the work is done for you. The IRP5 document is sent to us and it's reconciled. But with the self-employed people, the SMMEs, for example, you have to do it yourself.
So with that said then, where do people file their returns?
Sure.
And what are the avenues at which they can get assistance?
We have digital and non-digital services that we offer. The first protocol that we say is we need to go to e-filing, and that's where the assessment form is consolidated. We also have an app called a Mobi app. You can also find more information and support on our SARS TV on YouTube. We don't advocate for people going to the branch, but we advocate for e-filing and making an e-booking appointment for somebody to help you.
Doctor, thank you very much for joining us for this important conversation. The South African government has a social responsibility towards citizens of this country, which can only be fulfilled when people who earn taxable income honor their tax obligations and, of course, pay their taxes. By so doing, taxpayers are actively helping develop and grow our country. Managing your tax submissions has never been easier. SARS is here to help you be tax compliant. Tax Matters, in association with the South African Revenue Service.